Black Ops 4 overview, Dead of the Night. Let's get into it. I'm just going to go out and say it right now. This is the best Black Ops 4 map ever. End of it. That's it. Goodbye. I'm done. Video over. No, but for real, I have a lot to talk about this map. This map is incredible. It reminds me of a certain special map that has a really true place in my heart, Zetsubo no Shima, and I will get into that. So, without further ado, enough stalling. Let's just hop straight into it. We don't need no fancy intro. We don't need no cinematics, which I might just have them up anyway during this whole section, but let's start at the spawn. This is the first map since Verrucht, or at least the first Treyarch map. I know there was an Exo Zombies map that had split spawns, but this is the first Treyarch Zombies map since Verrucht to have split spawns, which is kind of interesting, you know. I mean, it doesn't really matter because the door to get to the other side is literally 500, and it might be 750 in co-op, but I know in solo it's 500, which means you can get to the Sentinel artifact on round 1. Already, we're doing better than Voyage, 9, and Blood of the Dead, like right off the bat. So you get to that Sentinel artifact, and that turns on pretty much everything. I'm going to be jumping around a little bit here because I just got to talk about how visually appealing this map is and how awesome they set the atmosphere. The inside mansion is what you'd expect. It's a pretty fancy looking mansion with a huge statue in the middle with a lot of crimson color of the carpets and the walls and everything you'd expect from a mansion, right? The dining hall, everything looks amazing. And you go outside. So if you're facing the statue from the upstairs, to your right you have what I call the alchemy lab. In the game it's called the greenhouse, but I like calling it the alchemy lab. To the left we got the cemetery, and at the very back, straight ahead, you have the forest. This map is a really, really beginner friendly map, and I think it works great for experienced players and for beginners because it is very easy to navigate. Like right away I understood, okay, right side we got the dining hall and the alchemy lab. Left side we got the library, cemetery. Straight ahead, just the forest. It was really easy to understand. The only part that I had a little bit of confusion was the upstairs area because every single room looked the same. But even then, it wasn't really a problem. And you also have an underground wine cellar, which is just a nice little addition to the map. It's a little connector piece that does serve its purpose. It's not completely useless, so it's a nice little addition, I will say. I sort of did make that statement in Voyage and in Blood of the Dead where like a place sort of exists because, you know, just to have it exist for Easter egg and Pack-a-Punch, but this one actually sort of fits. Like, it's a wine cellar. I mean, like, that makes sense, right? In Voyage, it made sense. It's just Blood of the Dead's powerhouse. Why does that exist? We're not talking about that. We're talking about Dead of the Night, all right? But it fits, so I don't have a problem with it. It's a wine cellar. It makes sense. One thing I do hear everywhere that people complain about this map is how many parts there are. And I just gotta say, what's the issue? What's the issue? Why do you hate having parts, okay? You can pretty much eliminate 3 of them because the tuning forks are just for Pack-a-Punch. They're not really parts. They're challenges. You don't have to look for them. You have the shield, okay, whatever. The shield's in every map. You have quite a few for the Alistair's Annihilator, but a lot of those parts you get by doing challenges. You're not looking for them. You're not searching for them. Sure, I guess you could say the silver bullets is kind of redundant. You get a bunch of silver pieces and then you melt it in the metal and then you need to find a few more pieces then to turn into silver bullets. Like, sure, you can make that argument where it's like, why can't I just find the silver pieces and then turn those into silver bullets? Like, but that's kind of a stretch in my opinion. A lot of those parts don't even need. You don't need, like, you're just gonna stumble upon it during the game. Like a lot of the trap parts, you don't need to pick them up, and 2, you're just gonna stumble upon them during the game. So what's the big deal? I don't see the deal here. And to build the wonder weapon, you don't really need parts. You just need the parts to upgrade them. Those upgrade parts, like I said, you're doing a challenge and then picking up the part where you do the challenge. Like, why do people have a problem with the parts here? It's not that big of a deal. And like I said, the map layout is really good, so finding these parts, like, you're going to be looking in places that make sense, right? Like, you sort of know, okay, this area definitely has a part in it. It's an area. Oh, this is a hallway that's very long. It probably doesn't have a part here, you know? It's very easy to understand what you're looking for, and I don't understand why people complain. Why do you have to complain? Everyone's so negative. Even though I just had 2 back-to-back videos just shitting on Blood of the Dead. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Dead of the Night. I gotta stop going back there. I mentioned the Wonder Weapon. There's actually 2 more. Well, I guess there's 1 more plus a specialist knife, but I like to think of the stake as a specialist weapon. It is so cool. Like, Treyarch did not have to add so many additions to this map. It goes so underappreciated. The Savage Impaler was something I didn't even know existed until later on. I'm going to be making a video about that. I didn't do it in the Easter egg run, and I really wish I did because it's so cool. It's such an awesome wonder weapon. And people complain it's like, oh, it's just a reskin of the NX Shadow Claws. Who cares? It's an extra addition to the map. Why are you complaining? Treyarch did not have to do this. It comes with its whole little area of the map, and there's a whole little quest to do it. Like, why are you complaining? Like, stop! It's good. It's good. It one-shots vampires. It does a lot of damage against the wolves, and it one-shots the zombies to the head. So, I don't have an issue with it. It's great. Now, it would be so cool if we could upgrade it, but unfortunately, it's been 4 years and no one has found an upgrade to it, so I don't think there is. As for the Annihilator, though, there are 3 upgrades. You can turn the Alistair's Folly into the Chaos Theory into the Alistair's Annihilator, and I love it. It reminds me of the Masamune from Zetsubo. The whole process, going to the lab, getting the parts, it felt like home. It really did make me so happy because I felt like I was back at Zetsubo, and I love Zetsubo. And then the steak knife is really cool. The steak knife is really, really, really easy to get. It's just getting some symbols, shooting some things, bashing a tree, and then getting kills. That's all it is. And it's a one-shot to like round 30, I think. And it does a lot of damage to the wolves. Like, it's really good against the wolves. So that's 3 items, weapons that are specific to this map, and I love them all. I love all of them. The main wonder weapon, the Alistair's Folly, is awesome. It's really good. I think I actually like it better than the Masamune from Zetsubo. The steak is awesome. I think it's so cool. I know that has some sort of relevance with werewolves and vampires. I know it does. I'm not that into that sort of stuff, I guess you could say. And then I don't know what relevance the Savage Impaler has. Maybe a crossbow is good against werewolves as well, but it's really cool and it does a lot of damage, and it's so satisfying to use. Let me say, it is so fun to use. Pack-a-Punch doesn't move, baby! Pack-a-Punch does not move on this map. We love to see it. Pack-a-Punch stays in its spot at the end of the forest. Now, it is kind of a chore to get all the way over there, but there is a fast travel from the God, I don't know what it's called, but it's right next to the Danu perk, right up top the staircase, and there's a fast travel that goes to the forest. Just run down, get Pack-a-Punch, come back. Oh, I'm so glad Pack-a-Punch does not move on this map, okay? And before you even go to Pack-a-Punch, you take all your tuning forks that you got, which, can someone please explain to me what all these things mean, why the tuning forks are here, the stake, I think I know the stake, but, like, the crossbow, the Savage Impaler, can someone please explain to me, like, what relevance these have? But you take those tuning forks to the forest, and it's all blocked off, and then you gotta fight a werewolf. It's so cool because that sets up the entire map. I mean, it is so cool. I mean, I've never been a thing for like werewolves and vampires, but no, I think the werewolves are so cool. The vampires are fair. I think they are a little bit annoying though. Like, people complain about the tigers on 9. Like, I've never heard any complaints about the vampires. The community doesn't know what they're talking about. I'm sorry, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just blindly saying stuff that they see from YouTubers. All right, that's what's going on. YouTubers don't know what they're talking about. I'm talking to you, Noah J, hating on Dead of the Night. Don't know what you're talking about, bro. Yeah, the vampires were scary. I loved them. First time I saw them, shat myself. I knew to expect them, but I didn't know what they looked like. I heard they were vampires, and if they hit you, you don't regenerate health. I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. I saw them, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I thought they were just like normal zombies that like had like a... I don't really know what I expected, but it definitely wasn't what I saw. They were actually so scary looking. They're like smaller and they like jump at you. Oh my gosh, bro, they're crazy, man. With that being said though, keep the catalyst zombies out. We don't need the catalyst zombies, okay? They took out the Blight Fathers, good, but get rid of the catalyst zombies. We have the vampires, we have the werewolves. We don't need any more special zombies. We got the maps. Like, save those for Voyage. All right, 9's good. Save the catalyst for Voyage, the Blight Fathers for 9. And then the werewolves and the vampires for Dead of the Night. That's what it should have been. That's what it should have been. And I think this map works really well for the Black Ops 4 system. It works very well. I think the perk system works very well on this map. Not as good as 9, of course, but I think this is a very, very Black Ops 4 friendly map. Would it benefit on other games like Black Ops 3? Maybe. I think it would still be very good. The only thing, I think more people would play it if it was on Black Ops 3, but people should still play this map on Black Ops 4. It is great. And the only I guess negative I could really think of on this map was like the characters are like kind of just like they're just sort of basic. Like there's just sort of one-off characters that just die off after this map. Like, and I get it for the story, but it's like the only two characters that I care to play as is the cowboy and Godfrey. Godfrey has like his own quotes that like like Dark Godfrey's talking to him, and that's pretty cool. I saw that when I was getting the Savage Impaler, which, like I said, video coming out soon. That being said, that's the general map. That's everything. On to the Easter egg. First step of the Easter egg, just like every single other map, is gets a Pack-a-Punch. Pack-a-Punch is the first step. To get Pack-a-Punch, you gotta look into these crystals and then do challenges. One is a clock step, one is killing vampires around a perk, and another one is finding a ghost and bringing her to a gravestone at the cemetery. Really easy and straightforward. I personally love it. I can kind of see why it can be confusing. At first, I thought I was gonna be like, okay, this is way too confusing, but like, I'm sure casuals can get their way around this super easily. So yeah, the first step is get Pack-a-Punch and get the Wonder Weapon. That's pretty important. It's really not that hard to upgrade. I cannot stress that enough. It's not that hard to upgrade. It's a really good Wonder Weapon. I love it so much. One of my favorites. But yeah, after you get Pack-a-Punch, you use those crystals again to get 3 more challenges. So you gotta look through the 3 crystals, right? And there's 3 challenges you have to do. But it's sort of like 4 challenges because there's one extra that isn't in the crystals. But so let me just briefly tell you what they are, and then I'll explain them as I tell you what my thoughts on them are. So starting off with the scratches step, I did have a little bit of an issue my first time doing it, and I don't really know why. I think I just wasn't counting them correctly. Even going back and editing, like I was pretty certain that I was counting the scratches correctly, corresponding to the zodiac sign. But I don't know. After a few tries, I was able to get it. Not too bad. I actually really liked that step. It was really fun to look around. It's still kind of annoying on solo because you got to train a zombie around, but I really did enjoy it. You also have to use your shield to bash like a wheel in, and then use your shield, turn it into an electric shield, which guess what? With something also in Zetsubo, and you gotta bash the telescope, it will move and shine a light, and you're done with that. And I fucking love that step. Alright, it's reminds me of Zetsubo. Getting a little bit emotional here. My favorite map. Another challenge, and this is where we get to the crystal ones. So now the telescope one, or like the aligning the lights. This one was a little bit tricky. On solo, you're gonna constantly have to train around a zombie while doing this, so it was quite annoying. Really easy. Just shoot the mausoleum with silver bullets. Then you go and align the colors. So the colors, it took me a few tries to understand it. I really wanted to try to figure it out myself, but the zombie was just getting so annoying, so I just searched up a guide, and yeah, didn't have too much of an issue with it. Another one is the twig step, or it's like a Wickerman sort of cross thing. Basically, some trees in the cemetery are going to be like, some of the leaves are going to be falling. You just shoot it with your Wonder Weapon, the Annihilator, the Chaos Theory, whichever it is, and then some twigs will fall. You got to get 5 trees, 5 twigs, and then bring it to the gravestone of your character. It wasn't tedious at all. It was really straightforward. Got it done pretty quickly. You have to shoot a red pool of your Wonder Weapon before going into like the cross thing, which is kind of annoying. I wish you can just interact with it and go into it. I don't know why they had to make it like that. So you go down there and you try to find a ghost. I did have a big issue trying to find this ghost because I spent like 5 minutes going around the top floor only to figure out that the ghost was in the wine cellar. I thought it could only spawn on the top floor. That was my misunderstanding. So not that big of a deal, right? You just gotta escort the ghost back all the way to the cemetery, which is not that hard, and then you're done with the step. Very, very easy. And the last one is the night step, right? Night step is super easy. It was kind of funny because I'm not sure if it's because I'm on PC, but my shield was kind of glitching out when I was running around. It was really funny. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really wish you didn't have to bash the fireplaces in order, but it's not that big of a deal. I felt like it was unnecessary, but I see why. Make it a little bit more challenging. It's already pretty easy. So once you do that, you can go to 3 nights around the map. There's one in the little garden area by the alchemy lab, one right outside the dining hall, and then one over at the cemetery. And then you bring these rocks. They will follow you throughout the map over to the forest, put them on these spots, and start getting kills. And you get enough kills, the knights start moving. They'll move all close to the Pack-a-Punch and then get into like a little triangle. Then you have to kill a werewolf in the middle, and that will be the end of the step. Now, at the end of all of these except for one, except for the telescope one where you had to get the lights, there will be a little zodiac sign like tablet on the floor. It's like a stone slab with a zodiac sign on it. You can interact with it for about 5 seconds, and then it will start a lockdown. So one in the alchemy lab, one in the forest, one in the cemetery. And these are hectic. These are really hectic. You gotta be really focused and paying attention. Werewolves start coming after you. There are a lot of zombies, vampires. I mean, they're really confined spaces, but they are fun. Like, you feel great when you beat them, and this map felt really rewarding. The only other map that I felt this completed after doing a lockdown was Voyage of Despair. So to have that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I didn't go down, I beat this, I feel awesome. To have that feeling come back again was great. So you do all of those lockdowns. You bring those stone slabs to the forest, and there's a little wall in which you can place them, and you are now boss fight ready. So you get a nice little cutscene here, right? With a werewolf, and this werewolf in particular is missing an eye. Now, I'm not sure if that's because they just wanted to have a wolf with no eye, or because he's missing that one eye, he's able to go invisible. I have no idea. Basically, this werewolf can go invisible, and you have to not make him go invisible, and that's the whole idea of the boss fight. It is tense. I didn't know what I was doing at first. I literally, when I watched the guide, it said, you're going to be going to the boss fight, and you have to turn these levers to make the wolf appear. That's all I did. So I was figuring it out as I was going, turning these levers, trying to figure out, okay, where, like, oh, the green light, it points to that. Okay, we got to get all three of them to point to the green light, and then make him charge to me into the green circle, or square rather. And oh my gosh, was it fun? Was it hectic? Was I pounding at 2 in the morning trying not to wake up my family? Oh my gosh, it was so fun. This boss fight is so intense, and I loved it. It was so well done. Because the wolf, the wolf is kind of stupid. It won't like always hit you, but when it does hit you and it gets you down to 50 HP in one hit, you are panicking, trying to like run away from the zombies. And you know, homunculuses do help, especially when you're trying to hurt the wolf. But you can, it's sort of like the Voyage of Despair thing. You sort of like move the zombies to the edge and then run over. You can use the stake, which is really good against him, and it didn't seem like it was doing a lot of damage when I was in the boss fight, but trust me, it was doing a lot of damage. But yeah, there are 2 phases to this boss fight. The first phase, you get to see where the green square is. Like, you keep turning the switches, getting the wolf to appear, and then getting as much damage done onto him until he finally falls over and dies, and you have beat the map. And oh boy, did I feel so good beating this map, and seeing the Easter egg was so cool because I didn't know it is a prequel. It's so cool. We get to see Alistair Rose at the beginning. It leads into Voyage of Despair. It's really cool. So now that we're done with the Easter egg, we have the last part of our overview, and that is just the conclusion. My friends, this map is filled to the brim with content. There's never a time where you're just sitting around. Like, you're not wasting rounds. Every single round you got something to do if you want to do it. Unless you're doing the Easter egg, then you should probably do it as early as you can. But you are never just wasting your time on this map. Like, going to round 20 to 30, you are still doing stuff. Like, getting the Savage Impaler, the stake, getting the, upgrading the Wonder Weapon, if you so please, trying new places to train, or even camp. And that's kind of one thing. That's the only thing, actually, that I really dislike about this map. And it has the Black Ops 4 effect, where you're just camping in a spot with the Helion Salvo and killing zombies, and also using the Wonder Weapon, because that thing is amazing. But yeah, you're just camping up in the master bedroom. That's the high round strategy. And a lot of the quest stuff is optional, right? You don't have to do it. It's your choice. Just like how there's so many parts in this map, it's your choice to do it. You don't have to do it. Really, you're just getting maybe you're just getting the shield and the Wonder Weapon every single time, but you don't need the trap parts. You don't need silver bullets. They help a ton, right? But if you get the Helion Salvo maxed out, I mean, and that's what I love. It's so diverse. This map is for everyone. And like I said earlier in the beginning, this map fits Black Ops 4 so well. Like I said with 9 was very successful in the Black Ops 4 system. This map also is very successful in the Black Ops 4 system. I think it works very well with the perk system, which is how Black Ops 4 functions, and I think it's great. I was a guy that blindly hated this game, right? I didn't know until I gave it a shot, and I am genuinely having such a good time, and I wish I played this game earlier, because this game is a gem. This map is a diamond in the rough. Compared to all the other maps, this is the map that stands out the most. My favorite Black Ops 4 map, and as of recording this overview, I've gotten to Alpha Omega. I can assure you that Toxic Totem will not beat this map. This is my favorite Black Ops 4 map. This is the best Black Ops 4 map. The Easter egg song on this map is called Mystery, and it is my favorite Black Ops 4, one of my favorite all-time Zombies Easter egg songs of all time. So go check it out. Link in the description below. Every part of this map is utilized. And then more. You have the forest, you have the boss fight, you have the underground area with the Savage Impaler, bro. Like, every single part of this map is utilized, and it is utilized well. Like the upstairs, you're constantly going back up there, you know, for the shield and for fast travels and for just other stuff running around. You camp up there. Just the mill section. If you want to train around, you can go there. The cemetery, you got the mausoleum. You can also train there, which I like being over there. It's just the cool little atmosphere, and that's the thing. The atmosphere is awesome. It reminded me of Zetsubo. This is what Zetsubo tried to be like. This is the feeling that Zetsubo tried to give you. And it sucks because Zetsubo isn't that scary, all right? But this map is. This map was scary, and playing it late at night was like, it's a whole different experience. And with the werewolves and stuff, it's like the similarities are almost uncanny. Zetsubo, it's got the Zetsubo feel. Right, the outside areas, you got the inside, you got the alchemy labs like Zetsubo does. You got every few rounds you have a werewolf round. On Zetsubo you got the thrashers. Zetsubo you got the spiders. Dead of the Night you got the vampires. I mean, it's uncanny. The wonder weapons are so similar. Like, they look similar, you build them similarly, you upgrade them similarly. Like, this map is Zetsubo 2. This is an S tier map, right? You know what else is an S tier map? Zetsubo no Shima. It is a masterpiece, and it is severely, severely undervalued. Guys, that is all I have for Dead of the Night. We are halfway there. We are halfway done. This is the halfway point right here, right? I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing classified, but I will think about it. I might just I might not do an overview on it, but I might play it out for a bit, see how it is. Maybe I'll stream it. But yeah, Dead of the Night is Zetsubo Part 2. We are halfway done. Next week, Ancient Evil.